here is to download a material that we're going to use for our coin. So you can find it anywhere on the web. There are a lot of free websites. I personally like TurboSquid. Also, there are Sketchfab and other resources where you can find a lot of good 3D models and materials. So I'm gonna type coin, and here you can see a lot of different coins. So we're gonna need just the free ones, and then find a coin that we like. I have already checked all this, and I find this coin, which I like. It's kind of, you know, pirate coin. It looks good. So I have downloaded it. You can do the same, or you can choose any coin that you like. So once you selected it, you need to download all the files. We're gonna use this FBX file because this format works pretty well, but I think that other formats would work too, like OBJ, for example. Let's download this and open Unreal Engine. We're gonna create a new level. That's just how I want to do it, and I don't say that it's necessary, okay? So I'm gonna select just the basic level. So now we have this basic level, and if we click play, you can see that Philip falls from the sky. And this is not how we want it. We want him to start somewhere. So we need to add a starting point. So we're gonna click here, then go to the basic and player start. You can see that the capsule overlaps the ground and it doesn't look good, and it says bad size. That's because your character can't be rendered with his legs under the earth. That's why we have this bad size thing. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna move it up a bit, just like this. A bit more. Okay, now let's see. Perfect. No falling. Very good. Let's go further. Now it's time to add the coins. How we do it? Of course, the coins that we're gonna add are blueprints, because there are a lot of different logic inside it. It's not just a mesh. It's not just physical shape. It's more. So that's why we're gonna go to the content browser. We're gonna create a folder. I think I want to create a folder somewhere here inside the content, but it's up to you. I'm going to rename it to objects, and then inside objects, I'm gonna create coins folder. To create a blueprint, how we do it, right click, blueprint class. For this one, the actor class is what we are looking for, because an actor is an object that can be placed or spawned in the world, and that's what you are looking for. Let's rename it to BP coin and open this up. I'm gonna drag and drop like this to have it here next to the other tabs. So you already know how it looks. So we have the viewport with its physical shape and all the collisions. We have event graph where we do basically all the coding and scripting, and we have construction script, which we don't use much because of its specific. So we're gonna use event graph and viewport. And first thing first, let's create the coin. So if you click add, you can see that we have a lot of different things here. But if you think of a coin, and if you think of basic shapes that we have, I would say that the closest shape to the coin is cylinder. So let's type cylinder, and it creates a cylinder for us. A small thing, when you click add, you can see the search bar right here. And to find a component, you're gonna type here. But if you want to use this search bar, that means that you are searching through the components that you already have here. Okay, so we have the cylinder. Of course, it doesn't look like a coin now, but let's fix that. And then you can use this lock to lock all this. And now when I'm changing one, you see that everything is changing like this. Okay, so I'm not sure if it looks good or not. Let's make it a bit bigger like this. Okay, so now if you click save, compile, and then go to level, actually, of course, nothing happens because we need to put this coin to the world. So how we do it, we go to, let's open the content drawer here and find the folder with the BP. Drag and drop it like this. Move it a bit. It's actually laying down like this. So let's start the game. Yeah, that's not how coins look like. So we're gonna go back to the blueprint and rotate it. Just a reminder, you can rotate your objects here. You can rotate it also here. Just select this and use this things to rotate, like this, for example. Okay, I need 90 here, just 90 degrees. Okay, now let's save, compile, and once again, okay, much better, much better. I would say it's too close to the earth, so I'm gonna put it a bit higher, and now play again. Maybe even higher. Or maybe a bit down. Oh, I can do it all day long. Yeah, like this. Okay. I think that's what I want to do. Okay. Okay, fine. Now let's go back to this. And now let's add a rotating movement to that, just to make it look more like a coin that you want to collect. So actually, there are a few ways to do that. But here, let's just click add again and find rotating movement. Okay. All right, very good, very simple. So now you can rename it. I will not. So you're gonna select this and then go to your details here. And here you can adjust everything. For example, rotation rate can be changed and much more. So let's save, compile this one, go back and let's take a look. Beautiful. Now it's rotating. Perfect. So if you want to change this rotation, let's say, let's type 180 for this, for Y. And then if we click save, compile, and go back, you can see that we have this odd rotation, I would say. Doesn't look good to me, but I think you got the idea. So you can play with the settings. One thing that I want to do is I want to go to this movement component and check this box, update only if rendered. This means that this rotation thing will be updating only if the coin is rendered. So when the player is away from it, the rotating will not take place. We don't need it because we don't see it, but it helps with resources of computer because it's not endless and you need to think about it when you're creating your game. So we're gonna check this box for this one. And one last step before we go further, we're gonna save this because I still see this untitled thing here. So we're gonna save all, and I'm gonna give this a name. I'm gonna go to the maps folder and you can give it any name. I'm gonna give it a name, coins. Okay, now it's time for some logic. So we're gonna collect coins. But what is collecting coins? What is that? First, it's checking if character touches the coin, calculating how many coins he has touched. It's his play score. And making the coin disappear or destroying the coin. So let's do the first part. We need to check if character touches the coin. And as you already know, we're gonna do it with the collision. So let's add a collision for this one. I'm gonna add a sphere collision, but you can actually use capsule collision as well. So here's the collision. We're gonna make it a bit bigger. We have the lock locked. And now when I change the size, you can see that all three numbers are being changed. Just like this, maybe even more. Okay, let's save, compile, and oh, we didn't do one little small thing. So we have created this collision for the cylinder, right? So let's drag and drop it like this. And now the collision is connected to the cylinder. I just want to make sure that it is centered. It is. Okay, very good. So save, compile, and now go to the level. Let's see. I actually don't need the game. I just need to see this collision box. Just want to make sure that it is okay. Maybe let's make it a bit more bigger. Don't forget to select what you want to change. So if you are working with collision, select collision. If you are working with cylinder, select cylinder. So let's make it a bit bigger. Oh, bigger. Maybe like this. And now. Okay, I think it's okay. But if not, we're gonna change it. So let's add a few more coins first, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open the content drawer again and drag and drop a few more coins. You can see it can be hard to actually put them in one level. So instead of dragging and dropping, we're gonna select this one, copy, paste, do like this, paste, and do like this, and do like this. So now we have 4 coins. Let's take a look. Great. So we know that they have collision, but we didn't add any logic. That's why nothing happens. So let's go back to the blueprint, select the sphere component, and right-click on it, add event. We have event on component begin overlap, and that's what we need, right? So when you click here, you can see that it sends you to the event graph and creates this node on component begin overlap, which is an event. This node helps us to catch this moment when something overlaps something, right? In our case, that will be Philip, which is our character. So let's use the node that we already know. It's called cast to BP. So this node tries to access object as a blueprint class. It may be an instance of. So we're gonna connect these two together, just like this. So if they overlap, something happens. And to calculate that something, we need to add a variable. We're gonna do it in the blueprint for the character. So let's go to the blueprints folder, find this blueprint. If you didn't change mannequin to Philip, then you're gonna see mannequin here, which is fine. Don't worry about that. So we go to the event graph, and now we're gonna go to these variables here, and click plus and add a new variable. So I'm gonna call it how many coins. I need this variable to calculate how many coins my character has collected. So instead of Boolean, we're gonna choose this type, which is integer number. That means numbers like 1, 2, 3, etc. Whole numbers. So integer. Now we're gonna go back to the blueprint for the coin, and we're gonna do like this, and we're gonna connect this one with this variable that we have just created. So we need to get this variable. So I'm gonna type get first and then the name of the variable. You remember that I called it how many coins. Here it is. If you gave it any other name, then you're gonna find the name that you gave. So here it is, how many coins. And then from here, what happens? So each time the character overlaps the coin's collision, that means he collects the coin, right? Each of this overlapping means +1 coin. So first we have 0 coins, then 1 coin, then 2 coins, then 3 coins, and so on. Since every time he overlaps, that means +1, we're gonna do like this. We're gonna type ++. In developing, in many programming languages, ++ means +1. Why so? That's because this kind of math is being used so often, like really often, that code creators, like the languages creators, they decided that we're gonna have a small comment for this. So ++ means +1, okay? So enter, and now we have +1. So we're gonna connect it together like this. So now we have this variable changing, but we want to check that, right? Because like we don't know. does it work like this or not? And in order to check that, we can use print string node. As you remember, this node is used for development purposes only. So you don't want to use this node for your game. It's only for you to see if everything works, for debugging and stuff. Okay, so let's open this up like this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna print this variable on the screen, and it's a string and this integer, and this is totally fine because we can do like this, and it's gonna add this node, which is transform integer into string. One last step is to connect these two like this. Now save, compile. Whoop. So we have the error because we didn't save this one. So let's save this first. So I'm gonna go back to the character, save, compile, and now save, compile. Okay, very good, very good. Remember, which is not saved doesn't count. So we're gonna go to the game again, play, and let's see. So what we have. Oh yeah, I see it. Have you seen that? Let's do it again. Okay, so look here. It's gonna be something here. 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, that's very fast, and it's going away fast. So let me do a few things here. I just want to change the text color to red so that we can see it clearly. And then, oh, I didn't change that. I want to change that to red. Click OK. And then duration, I'm gonna put 5 seconds. Enter. Okay. Once again. Okay. So now 1, 2, 3. Why? Because here's overlapping all these collisions, you can see. And of course, that doesn't make sense. So now we see how many times character overlaps the coins, but the coins don't disappear. So we see the play score growing and growing. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. And to destroy the coins, we need to destroy the coins. So we're gonna go back to blueprint and find destroy actor. Here you go. Connect those. Target a self because it's for the actor itself, which is the coin. So now let's say compile and take a look once again. Now we're gonna see that the coins disappear. Yay! Very good, very good. So we did a good job, right? Now when we click play, we see the coins. Then you can see at the left corner that there were 2, now it's 3 and 4. Our next step is to change the material for the cylinder, because obviously we don't want our coin to look like this, right? Right. So I'm gonna go to the content browser and find the coins folder, and right here I want to drag and drop the coin that we have downloaded in the very beginning. Import all. It doesn't matter. So what we have here, we have a static mesh and texture and material. Very good. So we're gonna save this. Now let's go back to the coin blueprint and then go to the cylinder, and here we're gonna find this. We have static mesh and we have materials. So now if we change the static mesh here, we're gonna lose the shape that we did, because it's gonna change this mesh to something else. It's gonna be different size. But what we're gonna do instead, we're gonna just go to this materials tab, and instead of this basic shape material, we're gonna find the material for the coin. So let's go back and find how it is called. It is called material 2. Okay. And that's what I want to find here. Material 2. Okay, great. That's great. So we can see that we just put a material on it. We didn't change the mesh. The only thing that we need to do now is to rotate it. So instead of, let me see. So we're gonna put 90 degrees here, just like this. Okay, so I'm gonna save, compile, and go back. Play. Perfect. It's good. It looks much better. Now we have this pirate coins. Very good. So we have the coins. We have the coins destroyed when the hero overlaps them. We also can see the count, but this count right now, it's for development purposes. I told you that we can't use this print string node for the game because, you know, it's just, it doesn't look like something that you want to see in a game, right? You just don't want to play a game and see this, you know, red numbers without, you know, no, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So instead, we're gonna create a user interface thing, which is called widget. User interface is also called UI, like user interface. So to create this, we're gonna go back to the coins folder, then user interface, and then find this widget blueprint. So I'm gonna rename it. It's WBP for widget blueprint coins. All right, let's open this up. It is empty, of course, because it is new. So this is the place where you create your user interface, where you create your widgets. And we're gonna do that. So We're gonna start with adding a canvas, because a canvas is just, you know, a place where we will be doing something. So we're gonna use the search bar, type canvas right here, drag and drop it, and do like this. So now we have this canvas. What I want to add to this widget is a very simple thing. I want coins, and I want the number of the coins. So I'm gonna type horizontal box, because I want the text to be inside this horizontal box. And first I'm gonna select this box, and if you see, when you select something here, you can see all the details from your right side, and you can change something here. I want to have it actually from this side instead. So first, let's anchor it to the right side so that this widget is anchored to the right side of a screen. It doesn't matter the size or ratio of a screen, it's always there. So for the horizontal box, I'm gonna change the position. I'm just gonna drag and drop it like this. You also can zoom in and out, and you can drag and drop. Oh, you can not drop, but just you can drag it like this to change its position. Let's move it a bit to the side. Okay, maybe like this. And now, as I mentioned, I want a text. So text. Drag and drop to the box. And now it's going to be inside the horizontal box. So what we can do, we can select the text and type something here. Actually, before we do that, let's select the horizontal box and make it a bit bigger, like this. Or what you can do, you can click size to content, and it's going to be the size of the content inside, which is the text. Now select the text, and here is where you can edit the text. So I'm going to type coins, enter, and now we have coins. Perfect. So this element of UI is going to have two elements. First is the text, coins, and the second is the number of the coins. So we can't do it inside one text box, because first is just text, and the second part needs some logic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click, duplicate it. We need to rename it. Just number of coins, it's fine. And here, instead of coins, for example, we can just type 0, just to, you know, to take a look how it works. I can see that 0 is too close to coins, and in order to fix that, we need to find margin. So you can type margin here. Okay, great. So here's the margin. You can open this, and then we need the margin from the left. So type 10. Okay, and now it looks better. So now we're gonna save, compile. So once you have created and laid out your widget blueprint, in order for it to be displayed in your game, you will call it by using a few nodes. Let's do that. We're gonna go back to the character blueprint. And here we need to start with an event, right? So when we want to see this coins and the number of the coins, we want to see it when the game starts, right? So I'm gonna type event begin play, begin, begin, yeah, here it is, event begin play. And so for widgets, we always use these two. First is create widget. So I'm just gonna type create widget. Here it is. And the second one is add to viewport. The connection of these two nodes helps us to actually see the widget in the game. So we need to do just a few more things here. First, for this node, we need to select this class. This is the widget that we have created. And then we need to connect these two together, just like this. Save, compile. Now let's take a look. Okay, very good. You can see this coins 0. Perfect. So if you don't like it, and you can change color, you can do many different things. And I probably will be having another big class about widgets. But for now, you know, just basic things. So again, if we go to the game, the character is going to collect the coins, but we didn't see anything. We didn't see any play score. We just see the 0 because it's just text. It's just text. So there is no logic inside it. But we're going to create